Hello, Katrina Bullock for the Finance News Network. And joining me from MGM Wireless today is CEO Mark Fortunato. Mark, thank you so much for joining us and welcome back to the network.
Good morning, Katrina. Lovely to be back.
Now, MGM Wireless is quite well known to investors as the company that invented the world's first SMS-based automated communication system to notify families when children didn't arrive at school. However, the company has evolved a lot since then, and its primary business is now wearable technology devices. Could you tell the audience what the MGM Wireless business looks like today?
Yes, certainly. Well, the most of our revenue now is comprised of our wearables business, which is on the back of the children's smartphone watch called SpaceTalk. SpaceTalk has been a phenomenal success since it's launched. It's now sold in not just in Australia, but in the UK, in New Zealand. Sales are approaching 50,000 units, and we are leading the market in this very fast-growing wearable space.
Thanks, Mark. And to a question investors are asking every company at the moment, how has COVID-19 impacted the business?
Well, we made some big changes very early on in the company to reduce our expenses and preserve cash and adjust to anticipated lower revenues. And that's been very favourable for the company. We're in good financial shape. Yes, sales have dropped off because SpaceTalk is sold now in 777 stores, a lot of which unfortunately were closed down during the COVID-19 crisis. But despite that, sales have actually held up quite well. We're tracking ahead of where we thought we would be, which is obviously a much lower number than where we're tracking before. But by and large, we're doing well. Our staff are in good shape, and the company's performing well, operating well.
Thanks, Mark. Let's take a more granular look at some of the product categories now, starting with wearables. What can you tell us?
Well, wearables are one of the fastest growing tech sectors at the moment, and expected to be that way for the coming few years. Now, within the wearable sector, smartwatches is the fastest growing sector, and respected industry forecasters like Gartner are forecasting that 30% of all smartwatches will be in this new emerging kids category, which we are the leader outside of China. So we're facing thankfully, we're looking at a tremendous growth opportunity. We're leading it. It's a very exciting time for the company too, because we've got two new devices coming out later this year. We're announcing our seniors watch later this month, and in time for Christmas, a new kids watch. So things are looking very, very good for the company.
And how about your school communication systems? How are they progressing?
Well, interestingly, the use of our systems has never been higher, and that's really because of the disruption to school operations, especially in the early stages of COVID-19. So we've experiencing record SMS traffic volumes coming through. You see quantum increases. Revenues are tracking at above where we thought we would be. So it's actually. Thankfully, the COVID-19 crisis has actually been very good for our schools business.
That's good to hear. And Mark, last year the company expanded its footprint into the UK. How is that progressing?
Well, prior to COVID-19, it was going extremely well. Our main distributor in the UK is Sky Mobile. Now, Sky's obviously a large company. They're Europe's largest media entertainment company. They're part of the Comcast group that's out of the US. So, the launch went extremely well. Sales were up significantly. Unfortunately, during the COVID-19 period, sales have dropped back quite a bit. But we actually were seeing, for the last 3 or 4 weeks now, we're seeing a resumption of growth, and it's actually looking quite good. What's interesting enough is the UK market is 3 times bigger than Australia. So, and prior to COVID-19, we're tracking at faster growth rates in the UK than Australia. So, significant potential there. We're looking forward to getting through COVID-19 and getting back on those terrific growth rates.
Thanks, Mark. Now to finances. I understand you've recently announced a share purchase price. Could you give us a bit of a snapshot of where the finances are at?
Yes, we announced it this morning, in fact. So we're actually in a strong financial position. We've got $4 million in cash and we're debt free. However, we thought we'd offer a small opportunity for our existing shareholders only to top up their holdings pre the next growth phase we're about to enter on the back of our 2 new devices and a new distribution agreement. So we thought we'd just reward our loyal shareholders in these COVID-affected share prices, a small capital raising. We're looking at raising around about $1.5 million at very attractive prices. It's just announced this morning.
Now, before we let you go, Mark, any final words for investors?
Well, the company's on the cusp of a very exciting new growth period. We've got the 2 new devices. We've got a significant new distribution agreement that will be released, details of which will be released in the coming days. The company's in a strong financial position. Our products are leading the market. The market opportunity is just enormous, and we're leading the way. So it's just an unbelievably exciting, fantastic period for the company. Watch this space.
Mark Fortunato, thank you so much for the update. Looking forward to catching up with you again in August to talk FY results.
Terrific. Thank you, Katrina. Lovely to be on the show.